Welcome everyone, how are you? My name is Marla and I am going to come on here live to share with you quickly, well maybe not so quickly, but the Declaration of Independence. America's two founding documents are not difficult to read if you start with a basic knowledge of their structure and content. With a few simple pointers, you will discover these documents have more answers to today's perplexing challenges than people realize. As a starting point, learn these basic ideas. The number 27. You can remember some general ideas about the documents using number 27. You can remember some general ideas about these documents using the number 27. There are 27 rights protected in the Bill of Rights. There are 27 charges made against King George III in the Declaration of Independence. There are 27 amendments in the Constitution. 27 is one key number you can remember. The Declaration has 5 parts: the preamble, the assertions, and then the charges. Wait, there's 2 more. There's the defense, and then there's the declaration. The preamble is the short statement introduces the subject with these words: when in the course of human events. The assertions, these describe the 8 ancient principles of freedom and unalienable human rights. It starts with these famous words: we hold these truths to be self-evident. And the charges, the sections list 27 acts of tyranny and despotism committed by King George III against the colonists over a 15-year period. The defense, these 2 paragraphs list those actions the colonists took to peacefully resolve their differences with the king. The declaration, the last paragraph is the actual declaration of the independence from both the king and from the parliament. It will take you 10 minutes to read the Declaration of Independence. The Constitution has 7 parts called articles. Article 1 is the job description of Congress. It is the legislative branch. Article 2, the job description of the President. It is the executive branch. Article 3 is the job description of the Supreme Court. It is the judiciary branch. Article 4 describes the role of the states and their relationship to the federal government. Article 5 describes the role of the states and their relationship with the federal government. Article 6 declares the Constitution as the supreme law of the land and puts elected officers under oath to uphold and defend it. Article 7 explains how the Constitution was to be ratified. 10 common myths. Ready? A lot of bad information about the Constitution is becoming accepted as fact. Learn the truth in the sections 10 common myths about the Constitution. I will be giving you a video series on these myths and each section. Finally, a good glossary of terms. Most people lose interest in these documents because the vocabulary is a little different. Check the glossary for fast help on words that don't make sense. It's a preview. The introduction of the Declaration of Independence, of the Declaration and the Constitution, is a preview of the published primer of the Constitution entitled How to Read the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Make it a habit, an annual immersion into the politics of freedom, to read these 2 documents regularly. July 4th is a perfect time to read the Declaration of Independence and be reminded of the foundation ideas that created the greatest freedom formula in the history of the world. September 17th is the birthday of the Constitution. That's the ideal day to read the 7 articles as a refresher of limitations and constraints we put on political leaders who lead and guide the United States. The documents can be the most satisfying reading by every freedom-loving individual around the world, and they will not disappear or disappoint, because there are people like me who will bring them back over and over again. This message was brought to you by Marla, and it is a good time to reintroduce you to the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. We have people trying to subvert our country. We are not a democracy. Nowhere in our documents did the Founding Fathers say that we are a democracy at all. They actually espoused the Roman Republic and the English Constitution common law more than the Greek democracy. We're not a majority rule. When you elect your representatives, you're electing one person to represent your views, and they must listen to your views, whether they agree or disagree. They need to represent you, not the freaking people who give them money, not the special interests. We're not a collective. We're not communist like in China. You don't represent people collectively. You represent individual persons in each district. So, vote for me. I will represent you and be your loudest mouth. Your loudest voice, but also I'll be a loudmouth in Congress. Thank you.